Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're going to peel back the curtain on the financial markets. We're moving way beyond just looking at red and green candles to understand what the big institutions are actually.
Human traders need 200 to 500 milliseconds to process information and react to market changes.
Trading algorithms react in microseconds, literally 1,000 times faster than human thought.
By the time you see a price move on traditional charts, algorithms have already positioned themselves.
Order flow reveals institutional positioning before it becomes visible in price, your early warning system. Every day, traders make decisions based on red and green candles. But what if those candles are only showing you half the story?
Human traders need 200 to 500 milliseconds to process information and react to market changes.
Trading algorithms react in microseconds, literally 1,000 times faster than human thought.
By the time you see a price move on traditional charts, algorithms have already positioned themselves.
Hey everyone, and welcome. Today, we're diving into something that's frankly a revolutionary way to read the market. It's a method that promises to show you what's really going on behind those price charts, giving you a totally new way of looking at market movements. So let me ask you something right off the bat. Take a look at your trading screen. All those charts you rely on day in and day out, what if they're only telling you like half the story? I mean, think about it. Candlestick charts are amazing, right? We all use them, they show us price action, but they can also hide the real narrative, the story playing out just beneath the surface. And that story, well, it's being written by the institutional players, the so-called big money.
You wouldn't face Jasprit Bumrah with a plastic bat. Yet thousands of traders enter India's derivatives market with
4% of traders lose, not because they aren't smart, but because they chase candles and ignore what institutions are actually doing.
12-video e-course reveals how markets actually move through order flow and market profile. See the forces behind price, not just price itself.
Stop reacting to candles. Start reading institutional intent. Join the e-course now. 4,909 for lifetime access.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening, guys. A quick sound check. I hope I'm audible. Sabko namaste. We are doing this session in both English as well as Hindi because we have a lot of requests. So we are just giving a chance for people to follow who only grasp Hindi. So sabko namaskar. और आज के session में we are going to talk about candlesticks and what the candlestick chart we have at Vtrender, how it is different from your normal candlestick. So what is a candlestick chart? A candlestick chart is just a open high low close bar, and which is colored based on the relation of the open with the close. If the open is above the if the close is above the open, you get a green. If the close is below the red, closes below the open, it is red. So only the red or green color does not give us that information which we need in the derivatives market to become a more better trader, to get more information. Only the color of the candle does not give us that information. So खाली green, लाल या हरा कलर के वजह से हमें ट्रेड इतना अच्छा वाला नहीं मिलता है, क्योंकि उसमें इंफॉर्मेशन बहुत कम है. बस क्लोज, ओपन और क्लोज का रिलेशन के हिसाब से यू डोंट, आपको ये नहीं पता चलता कि उसमें वॉल्यूम्स कितना था और बायर बड़ा था या सेलर. तो फॉर दैट वी नीड वॉल्यूम्स. So that is the reason what we have left behind. We do have the candles, but we have got them converted to smart candles because we are the volume people and we allow volumes to work for us, which is why we have this feature on Vtrender Charts and we call it Smart Candlesticks. So you can see in the drop down we have this Smart Candlesticks, which I have clicked. And what are the features in this Smart Candlestick? How is it different from a normal candlestick chart? Normal candlestick chart के अलावा इसमें क्या फीचर्स है जो जिसके वजह से हमें और ज्यादा इंफॉर्मेशन मिलता है जो हमको ट्रेड लेने में मदद करे. So that is what we are going to look at. So coming to the candles itself, you can see we have red colored over colored bars and we have yellow over colored bars. So what are these? These are the order flow signals. ये हमको बताते हैं कि इनिशिएटिव एक्टिविटी कहां पर हो रही है. IBs and IS, these are the heartbeat of our order flow chart. So when you mix the price action with this initiative bars, I'll just zoom into the colors. So ये हमारा IS candle है, initiative selling pattern. And if I take you back, because today was the day where sellers were dominating, we did not get any IB signals. But if I take you back to yesterday's, you can see ये जो पूरा candle जो yellow में covered है, those are our IB signals. So yesterday we saw a lot of IB signals, initiative buying signals in the smart candlestick. And today, because we never saw even a single IB signal, we knew that the trend PLR was to the downside. तो उसी से ही पता चल जाता है कि बिगर प्लेयर्स क्या कर रहे हैं. So what I'll start with is explaining what are these signals. I've already explained the IB and the IS. We have some bars which have got a star. So a star are bars which is an RB or an RS. तो ऑर्डर फ्लो में हम चार तरह के सिग्नल फॉलो करते हैं. IB, IS, इनिशिएटिव बाइंग, इनिशिएटिव सेलिंग, RB, RS, रेस्पॉन्सिव बाइंग, रेस्पॉन्सिव सेलिंग. So initiative buying or initiative selling is the signal which we want to go in for, because that is telling us that a big player is entered and he can take the market in his direction. तो जब हमें ये IB सिग्नल या IS सिग्नल मिलता है तब हमें एक्शन लेने के लिए we are ready and we get very good levels to enter, and we also get a good stop loss, and as per that we get our targets. So that is the first part of the smart candlestick. What we have at Vtrender has got the IB signals and the IS signals. Apart from that उसके अलावा क्या है अपने smart candlestick chart में? So we also have the POC and the VWAP of the day. Or every day what is happening is based on these very important level, the VWAP and this white bold line which is the POC. So what happens, what order flow shows us at these two levels is what gives us a setup, or it tells us that no, today there is no setup to play, market is in a range and it is keeping mean reverting back to the POC and the VWAP. But if you are getting move support at the VWAP, this RB signal at VWAP, this is telling us the buyer is in control. Then we get this IB signal at the POC, it is telling us that the initiative buyers are entering and they want to take it higher. So this is how you can add so much more information, so much more data in these smart candlestick and use them to take trades. And they give you very practical setups with a very precise stop loss and targets. So these the first part is the signals and the VWAP and the POC, and the next important feature which we have recently added in Smart Candlestick chart is this microbalance. So we have had a session before on microbalance. What we do in market profile is we look where you are forming balance and where you are forming an imbalance. So balance to imbalance is where we want to look for a move away, trending move. And if we remain in a balance, we want to know what is the range of the balance and accordingly trade that. तो मार्केट प्रोफाइल में हम बैलेंस देखते हैं और इम्बैलेंस देखते हैं. जब मार्केट बैलेंस में है तो हम वो रेंज ट्रेड करना चाहेंगे जो कि वो बैलेंस का रेंज है, और जब बैलेंस से इम्बैलेंस में हम बदल रहे हैं तो हमको वो एक ट्रेंडिंग मूव की एक्सपेक्टेशन रहता है जो ऑर्डर फ्लो के मदद से हम ले सकते हैं ट्रेड. तो माइक्रो बैलेंसेस, the boxes are of 3 colors: yellow, blue and purple. Yellow is the most common micro balance you will see on these charts. These will come on the smaller micro balances which are formed on the intraday time frame. So it is suggested to have these micro balances on the shorter time frame because, as the name suggests, micro balance is for smaller time frame. So we suggest micro balance to be used on the 3 minutes or the 5 minutes. So you can also see at the bottom we have different time frames for the smart candlestick, right from 1 minute, 3 minutes, 5 minutes. We also have 15 minutes and 30 minutes for people who are following a little bigger time frame. But the best time frame to watch the micro balance is 3 and 5. तो यहाँ पे 3 मिनट और 5 मिनट का जो टाइम फ्रेम होता है उसमें माइक्रो बैलेंस को ऑब्जर्व करना और जो ब्रेकआउट मिलता है या जो रेंज मिलता है उसको ट्रेड करना is the best time frame, the 3 and the 5 minutes. So the yellow micro balance is the most common. Then comes the blue, which is better than the yellow, and then comes the purple. So for every micro balance we have this volume and range marked out. तो जितना ज्यादा वॉल्यूम होगा उतना बड़ा range expansion you can expect. And you can see, you can also estimate okay, if you are getting a move on the upside or downside, how much of points can you expect from the breakout. So it not only gives you a signal to get into an imbalance, it will also give you the probable target. So these are very important features in this smart candlestick, and all these are coming to you in one single screen, where you're getting IB signals, where you're getting what is happening at the POC and the VWAP of the day, where are you getting the RB's responsive activity, where are you getting initiative activity, and when can you look for more upside or downside if the market is in a trending move. So apart from this micro balance, I will go through the chart of Nifty futures and Bank Nifty futures in a bit, and we will see what were the micro balances we got and what were the order flow signals we got in this new series which has started just from yesterday. In the November series, we'll run a quick we will have a quick walkthrough so that we can figure out okay, yesterday and today what were the setups we got using this smart candlestick. So that will be the best way to learn as well as see how we can implement this going forward. तो हम कल का और आज का ये स्मार्ट कैंडलस्टिक चार्ट देखेंगे दोनों निफ्टी फ्यूचर्स और बैंक निफ्टी फ्यूचर्स में, और पता करेंगे कि ऐसा कितने सेटअप्स हमको मिले और क्या सेटअप्स हम ट्रेड कर सकते थे और उसका रिजल्ट क्या था लास्ट 2 दिन का. तो बिकॉज फीचर्स है, सब है, एक्सप्लेनेशन में दे रहा हूं, लेकिन एक्सिक्यूट कैसे करना है, इंप्लीमेंट उसको कैसे करना है, फायदा कैसे होगा इससे, वो तभी हमें पता चलेगा जब हम लेटेस्ट डेटा पे उसका रिव्यू कर रहे हैं. तो वो मैं करूंगा एक बार फीचर्स का एक्सप्लेनेशन खत्म होने के बाद निफ्टी फ्यूचर्स और बैंक निफ्टी फ्यूचर्स दोनों का कल का और आज का 3 मिनट के कैंडलस्टिक पे हम वी विल रन थ्रू के क्या क्या सेटअप्स है अपने पास. तो apart from this micro balance, which is the next feature which we have on the smart candlestick, we have the MFlow money flow. So what is the MFlow? MFlow tells us when the auction is doing something, whether the money is coming in or whether the money is going out. So for example, if we are rising and you're getting a red MFlow, it is telling you that this up move is not coming on fresh money. And same thing, if we are coming down to VWAP and you're seeing a red inflow, you could sense that this is profit booking which is happening. So MFlow is a very important addition tool to this chart, and it will tell you when the whenever the move is being supported with addition of contracts, addition of money, or whether it is money is being taken out in the move. And same thing, the next feature we have lower is the COT, which gives us the difference between the total buying and the total selling. So if the market is going up and we are getting green COT, we know that the setup is safe and we can remain in long side for more time. But if it is not showing us green COT, but it is showing us red, if the market is going up on red COT, we'll be a little skeptical and we will keep our trailing stop loss very tight. So how do you change this? You have the settings bar, settings icon at the bottom left, which you can click, and you have these options. So what you can do is you can select what you want to see. So I have selected MFlow and COT, but it is not necessary that everyone has to do that. You can select in these 4 options, whether you want the volume, you want the COT, you want the DOI, you want the MFlow. So you have 2 panels here, and if you want just one panel, you don't want both the panels to show up, you want to give more screen space to the candles, you can hide one of the panel. So these are there in the settings, and you can change this. This is customized to every user. So however you want to make use of these settings, you can change it accordingly. So this is one important setting change which you can have. And you also have this panel control, where the 2 panels which you see at the bottom is being shown. So you will have to do the changes in the settings as well as this panel controls tab, and just apply this so that gets applied. So what I normally do is, for futures I have the MFlow and the COT. For options I have the MFlow and the DOI, because we look at where the open interest is been adding or where they are being forced to exit. So DOI is an important cue in options. Or you can altogether have just one panel of MFlow to see whether money is coming in the move, what is happening in the option, or whether it is being taken out. So that gives you an idea about how the inventory, overall inventory is being changed in the market. So these are the settings, and the other features which you can use in this candlestick chart is using the 2-window mode. And as I have already mentioned, you have multiple time frames at the bottom. So you can select the 2-window mode, and you can either have a 30-minute candlestick on the left to see what is happening on the bigger time frame, and you can continue to have the 3-minute on the right. So this helps us to see what is happening on the bigger time frame. The 30 minutes will give you the bias. It will help you to tell we are below previous day's POC and VWAP, and we have a period selling tail. So the bias has to be on the downside, and then the smaller time frame will tell you how the initial move lower saw the POC shifting to the lows. So this is very important cue. If you are short, you would want to book out when you see this kind of a thing. This bar is an RB bar with the POC shifting to the top. Just a normal candlestick chart would not have told you about the POC shifting, the highest concentration of volume shifting lower. Because we have this additional info, we know that we can book out shorts. And then when we came back above VWAP, we can see the POC shifting again here. So you can see very clearly the supply was adding here, where in the morning it was the POC was. So this was a fresh sell side trade which we could have taken, and you can see again from here we went back lower. Here again the POC shifted down. So this is how you can make out on this smart candlestick about where the seller is adding, where they are booking out, vice versa for the buy side also. So this is the 2-window mode which you can use, and you can have multiple options in this. Either you have the 3-minute candlestick on the left and you have the order flow on the right. And you can see whenever you are getting a signal in the smart candlestick, immediately you go to the order flow and figure out what the trade was. So I'll just give a quick example here before I definitely will do that quick review. So I'll also tell you how we need to trade the Microbalance and what were the setups we got in the last 2 days using the Microbalance. So what I'm trying to do here is get the same. So here you can see we have the VWAP here and we have this Microbalance high. So what are we doing at the Microbalance high and the VWAP? We have got this IS signal. So what is this IS signal telling us? This IS at VWAP itself is a trade. It gets triggered below this 26062 and the stop loss is this 26090, and we trade for that range. First target would be the difference between these two. So when it is coming at the VWAP and also the Microbalance, it gives you that additional confidence, and you know the lows of the MB would be the target because you're doing the 80% rule in this Microbalance. So this is how you can use this 2-window mode, that you know where the Microbalance is and you are seeing you're getting a rejection signal at the top of the Microbalance, which is also where the day's VWAP is there. And if you see the bigger time frame, you have a selling tail, A period selling tail today. So you know that the PLR is down. So you will definitely want to take this trade, and your target would be this 26030. So this is one example of how we can use this 2-window mode. If you have a bigger screen, you can also go in for a 3-window mode, wherein you can have the smart candlestick of Nifty futures on the left, the call candlestick in the middle, and the put on the right, so that whatever Microbalances are happening and whatever signals you are getting in the day, everything you can see in one screen. So what we have on screen is the November futures, and I will start this with yesterday's, and we will see what has happened yesterday and today in this instrument and how the smart candlestick helped us to trade them. So 29th of October, which was yesterday, this was the first day of the November series for us, and our rollover point was 26090. So it was well above the rollover point, so we were looking for upside. But what happened after the open, we got into a narrow range. We are forming a balance. Yes, we were holding the rollover point, but we never got any IB signals. And then what happened here, you can see in this bar, we got a breakout from this Microbalance. And this breakout was from this high of the Microbalance was 26196. And you can see the range over here is 73 points. So 26196, if it is giving you a breakout, your stop loss would be the Microbalance low, which was around 26130, and you're looking for 73 points to the upside. So the target was coming to 26269, which was hit. And once you hit the first target, what do? You book part of your position and then you trail to cost. And you can see how we hit the first target, we came back lower. What happened here? The entry into this micro balance was showing us RBs. We got this IB signal and then we did test VWAP, more so because we got a C side yesterday. And here when you're getting this sign that this is being defended, the VWAP is defended, that means the entry back into this micro balance is being rejected. Else we could have looked for a 80% rule in this micro balance. But for that we needed an IS3 signal here. And what we did was we formed another micro balance of 60 points. And we did get a breakout from that micro balance later in the day. This was for 60 points. And this micro balance high was around 26250. So you can see how the setup was very clear if for upside to test that 26310, which was the failed auction from 23rd of October. So, but we needed some more commitment by the buyers. So what happened here was we were not able to do much. And again, we formed this third micro balance yesterday. So this micro balance gave you a go long trade at 26250. But then once this micro balance formed, you wanted further confirmation for a breakout about this. And break of this low is giving you a fresh view. So what you do, you almost come out at cost and you reverse this trade when this micro balance is broken on the downside. This was just a 30-point micro balance. So you look at 30 points on the downside as your first target and 60 points as your second target. So this micro balance low was around 26259 and we went on to make a low of 26219. So 30 points to the downside. We got in a flash and then we came back higher, but we were not able to sustain in this micro balance. So what happened here is we did get IBs, but this was end of the day. So we were not any, we did not get any follow up to this. So this is what we did yesterday in Nifty futures. And today you can let us now get back to today's candlestick and see what was the views we got today. So today was, as we already discussed, was a day which was dominated by the sellers that opened. We remained below VWAP. This shift of POC was telling us that the sellers were booking out. And then we formed this micro balance. We just discussed this some time back. I'll just repeat it again. But that was more on a POC shifting play. Here, this green bar is giving you a clean breakout from this micro balance. So you are looking to go long, but what happens? This 26110 was that reference. And what happens is immediately after the breakout, you are getting back into this micro balance and the POC is shifting to the top. So when you are giving a breakout from micro balance, you would want that auction to stay above the micro balance high. If it is getting back into the micro balance, it is a candidate for the 80% rule. So here when you are seeing the POC shifting higher and then you're breaking, you are getting back into the micro balance, then it alerts you. You don't need to wait for your stop loss to hit here because of these two reasons of the POC shifting to the top and we coming back into the micro balance. Plus, you know that the main time frame of the day is down because we have the A period tail. You can play out this micro balance 80% rule in the micro balance. So the micro balance is not only showing you when to trade an imbalance, it is also giving you trades. It is also giving you the range which you can use for smaller points. So till the time it is in consolidation, you can use these 60 points to take trades at the upper end and the lower end for mean revert play. So the second micro balance which we formed was here. And here again, you can see we spoke about this, how this microbalance, high of the microbalance gave us an IS3 signal. And this was also at VWAP. So we could have expected a play to this. And then here, this did give a breakout, but this breakout was not sustaining, in the sense we were not able to hold below the microbalance low. And we did not get any IS signal here. And this was a very important level. 26011 is the anchored VWAP from the 30th of September in the November series. And we had that level marked right from open in the VLD. So we knew that this has to show us more supply. This is not going to break by these small red bars. It will need an IS3 like this, which was not coming in. So it was better that you book profits at this range and you don't look to trade a fresh short over here without getting any IS signal. So this is what happened then, and you can see how the market still remains weak, because what you saw, you re-entered this microbalance, but here at the POC and the VWAP, it is stalling. So this is still looking for more downside, because today's VWAP has been held all day. So this 26090 I think is this pullback high on the 30 minutes also, and this IS3 high. So that will be our reference for tomorrow, and we'll have to see how we if we get there, how we what order flow signal we generate. So this is about the Nifty futures. I'll do a quick run through the Bank Nifty futures also. So that we can see how the features which we have talking about, you can use on a daily basis. So I'll just concentrate more on the microbalance part, because it will help us to get better at one aspect. So what we did in Bank Nifty futures yesterday is, after the open, it was very dicey. In fact, it broke VWAP with an IS3, but it did not give much of a follow through. In fact, spot made a new low in the C side, and that C side gave us a failed auction in spot. But in futures, we did not break the morning low. But what happened here was, this IS3 also did not get triggered. We got the first microbalance signal here. Once it was comfortably above VWAP after the initial balance was done, and then we had this 70-point range. And the 70-point range, the high was around 58725. So this was the high, 58730, and you had a 70-point range. And you can see how we have got a breakout from this microbalance. And once we get a breakout, yes, we have not got an IB3 in this breakout, but once you get a breakout, considering that we have come back above VWAP and we have been holding VWAP in the afternoon, and in fact, even this breakout was on good green bar, and this microbalance has been holding. So for a 70-point risk, you were getting a setup. So from that 58730, 70 point what? Coming to 58,800, and that is where we hit. 58,830 was the high yesterday, and you can see here you have not getting any confirmation of buyers adding. So definitely you want to book at your first target and trail to cost. And here again, once it was coming down, it tried to hold that microbalance high, but it was not very successful. And again, into the close, what did we see? We saw another microbalance being formed of 85-point range. So microbalances will give you references which you can use even for the next session. So what was the reference here? This low of microbalance, which was at 58709, which was almost coinciding with the first breakout which we got here. So you can see how this was showing us that this level will be important for today. And once we open below this level, you knew that the Bank Nifty would be weak because it is broken away from this micro balance on the downside. And as long as it remains below this micro balance, you can expect the targets in this range. So from this low and the range of 85 points, we have gone on to make target 1, target 2 and target 3 without hitting this micro balance low, which was the uh, trigger for the micro balance to start. So that is, and these things, when you know that the micro balance is imbalance trade is on, you can use these signals and you can trade them. So once you get this IS3, you know what the targets on the downside are. Accordingly, you can look to trade the direction. And same thing, just like what we saw in Nifty futures, the POC shifting to the lows marked the end of the down move. And this is a sign that you need to book profits if you are short. So what was the next micro balance we got in Bank Nifty futures? You can see how this micro balance was forming later in the day, and then we seem to get a breakout here. But these breakout, we did not get any IB3s. And once we got this IS3 back into the micro balance, you know that this is a trade which you have to take 80% rule in this micro balance. So even if you go long at this IS3 signal and the activation of this IS3 will force you to get out of that long trade and reverse your position to the short side. And whatever you have lost, whatever small points you have lost, you gain more by trading this setup. And you can see how we did get IB3s and this breakout low on the downside, so which was not suggesting a trade on the lower side into the close. If we would have got this IS3s printed, we could have taken this micro balance trade to the downside with this 105 point range. So from this, I think 48440, we would have looked for a move down to 48340. So this is how you trade these micro balances, and it keeps you in sync. These are not lines in stone. They are not blind buy or sell levels, but they will give you important cues, and you will have to add the order flow signals to them. And you can see how beautifully they will give you the setup, and it will also inform you immediately if the setup is not going as per plan. So you don't need to wait for the entire initial stop loss which you have put. In fact, you can get a reversal trade and not only get back the cost, but also make some new green money because you are taking action as per the latest data. So this is how we trade these smart candlestick, and that is the reason we call them smart candlestick. You can have these things implemented on any instrument, and as I was mentioning, you can have the call and the put in a 2-window mode. I have this 25,800 call on my left and 2600 put on my right. So you can see how we got this big micro balance in the call, but we did not get any move away from this to trade. And then how in the put we did get this red bar which was looking to break to the downside. But then again you can see how this IB3 which came right at the POC of the put held, and this POC holding and the entry back into this micro balance with an IB3 was giving you the 80% rule on the upside. So this is how you can make use of this micro balances and trade them on all instruments. You just need to follow the latest information, and as per the latest data, just change your setup. So this was a very clean. The signals which come on IB or IS are the best you will get. And if you add the micro balance setup to it, you know that you have a better probability trade in the wings. So same thing on this here, the micro balance, you can see how the micro balance low was making an attempt to break lower, but the VWAP was holding, and this put was telling us that it does not want to break lower. And then what it did the 80% rule to the upside in this Microbalance also. So when you know the PLR, the path of least resistance, and we also have the volumex tool, which today all day was showing us that the supply was greater than the demand. So you would always want to look for long side trades in the puts. So you would not want to take this breakout because there is more chance of being a fake breakout, both on the the downside breakout, but you will want to look for IBs and reversals from VWAP or the POC, because that will give you a trade with the main trend, and that is what you want to be with for being able to get more points of your trades. So you can do contra trades, but contra trades you'll have to be very quick and you'll have to be happy with smaller points. If you are trading with the main trend, you can expect bigger range, and what you will do after booking at the first target, the part position which you are left with, a risk-free position, can get you bonus points if the move continues for a bigger time. So that is it for today from my side, guys. I hope this session is helpful, and in case you have any queries, you can just get in touch with us. You can post them over here, or you can send us a mail at support@vtrender.com, or you can also message me on X, DM me on X. So thank you all for joining in, and hope we have a great November series. Make sure to make use of this great features which we have, the Smart Candlesticks, because in one screen you get a lot of information and the latest information on which you can take actionable trades. And considering this week it has been two-way move all through, so when you are in a market like this, these features become all the more important because they don't get you stuck in a bias. They will immediately help you to change your bias and also change your trades. So have a great evening, guys, and I'm signing off. Thank you once again. You can also WhatsApp me. My WhatsApp number is listed 90362797747. I'll be happy to answer any queries you have on the features which we have on Vtrender Charts or any sessions which we take up.